Think back to your favorite childhood memory, the exact smell of your first classroom, the color of the jacket your first love wore in the rain, the terrifying weight of the afternoon you realized your grandfather was never coming back. Now look at the sleek smartphone resting on your nightstand. It is currently pulsing with a soft night blue glow. Ask yourself a question before the screen fades to black. Did those memories actually happen? Or were they downloaded into your brain during a mandatory system update last Tuesday at midnight? You are not watching a documentary about a fictional dark future. You are listening to an active archive from a timeline humanity successfully normalized decades ago. A world where the past is not written in stone. It is a cloud database, and your mind is running on a weekly subscription. It is 7:15 a.m. You reach out your hand and unlock your phone. There is a system overlay waiting on your lock screen. It reads "System maintenance complete." Your personal data repository for the past 5 years has been optimized for public peace. 42 unverified personal events have been permanently removed from your storage. Thank you for maintaining behavioral balance. You swipe the notification away. Your muscle memory opens Instagram, then Google Maps, then YouTube. You feel completely fine. You do not feel angry. That is the exact mechanics of the horror. You do not feel the missing events because the software changed the neural pathways that knew the data was missing. You look at a framed photograph on your desk. It shows you smiling in front of an ocean pier, but there is a blank, smooth space next to you. A cold physical gap where a human silhouette should be. Your brain looks at the gap, but it registers absolutely nothing. No curiosity, no sadness, no name. The system has edited someone out of your life because their compliance metrics dropped below acceptable thresholds. You look at the empty photo and smile. The interface has successfully shaped the citizen. To understand how your mind became property of a cloud server, we must document the exact inch where history moved differently. The year is 2008. In this timeline, the critical fracture occurs inside a highly classified research facility. For decades, behavioral scientists struggled with a fundamental flaw in human civilization. Human memory is unstable and volatile. A society that remembers every mistake eventually burns itself down. In July of 2008, researchers achieve a catastrophic breakthrough in neurolinguistic programming. They discover that during the deepest stage of REM sleep, the brain behaves exactly like an open, unencrypted write protocol. By utilizing the low-frequency electromagnetic fields generated by early prototype smart devices, data centers could directly interface with the human hippocampus. They only needed you to leave your phone on your pillow while you slept. When the global markets collapse, governments do not buy out the traditional banks. Instead, they buy out the technological infrastructure. They realize that the ultimate tool for absolute economic output is the systematic calibration of human memory. By 2014, the system is fully integrated into the global infrastructure under the name the Memory Sync Protocol. The transition is beautifully seamless. It is marketed not as surveillance, but as the ultimate mental wellness application built natively into every operating system update. The corporate ad campaigns are comforting. Tired of the crushing weight of anxiety? Let the network balance your mind. Wake up clean. Live in the present. The systemic cascade transforms global civilization overnight. The concept of historical text vanishes. History books are declared obsolete. If a government shifts its foreign policy regarding a neighboring territory, there is no need for propaganda campaigns. The network simply runs a rolling optimization patch over 48 hours. You go to sleep believing a nation is your eternal ally. You wake up with 50 vivid manufactured childhood memories of why that same nation has always been your enemy. You do not question the change because you remember fighting them. The data is perfect because the data is biological. Let us look closer at your new daily routine. You work for a major logistics firm. You have an apartment, a lease agreement, and a digital passport. But you do not have a true identity. You have a stability rating. Every interaction you experience is processed through your phone's microphone and ambient biometric sensors. If you have a political argument with a stranger on the subway, your pulse spikes. The ambient monitoring algorithm flags the encounter as a micro-friction event. When you connect your phone to the cerebral sync dock on your nightstand, the system categorizes the friction. It determines that your anger lowers your projected economic output for the following morning. While your eyes move in rapid eye movement sleep, the low-frequency signal begins its silent work. It replaces the angry stranger with a polite commuter who stepped aside to let you pass. You wake up at 7 a.m., feeling strangely energized. You walk into your office and work 12 hours without frustration. The corporation records a record profit margin. The state records total harmony. You are the perfect employee because your mind cannot retain a grudge. But the real terror is what they extract without your permission. Consider the concept of grief. In this timeline, grief is classified as a critical system drain. It is an economic inefficiency that civilization cannot afford. When your mother passes away in her sleep, your phone registers her cessation of life metrics through her smart bed interface. Instantly, a localized neural quarantine protocol is issued to your device. That night while you sleep, the network begins a deep forensic sweep of your cognitive database. It scans every neural cluster associated with her face, her voice, her advice, and her name. It deletes them all. It smoothly stitches your childhood memories together so that you believe you were raised by a benevolent state boarding academy. You wake up the next morning. You look at your calendar. It says you have a standard workday ahead. There are no funeral arrangements. There are no tears. You walk past her empty room down the hall, and you feel absolutely nothing because as far as your biological hardware is concerned, that woman never existed. You step onto the street and buy your morning coffee. The barista asks how your day is going. You smile and say it is perfect. This brings us to the false normality system. The world around you does not look like a war zone. There are no smoking ruins or barbed wire fences. The streets are clean. The high-speed trains run precisely on time. People laugh in cafes. It looks exactly like the world you see out your window right now. The horror is entirely invisible because it is completely accepted. If you attempt to explain to someone that their memories are being edited every 90 days, they will look at you with deep pity. They will report your comment to the neighborhood health algorithm using their smartphone app. They won't do it out of malice. They will do it because they genuinely care about your mental wellness. Within 3 hours, a medical transport arrives at your door. You are placed in a clean white room. By tomorrow morning, you will walk out of that facility, apologize to your neighbors, and delete your own historical fixation files with a smile. The system does not need prisons when it can simply rewrite the concept of guilt. Let us examine the soft scientific validation that keeps this timeline functional. The architecture relies heavily on source amnesia exploitation. This is a real behavioral science mechanism where the human brain successfully remembers a piece of information but completely forgets where or how it acquired it. The network exploits this flaw continuously. When you remember that your favorite brand of synthetic protein is the only ethical choice, you do not remember seeing 500 subliminal advertisements on your lock screen. You genuinely believe it is your own independent logical conclusion. The second mechanism is neuroplastic ideological alignment. By introducing microshocks of low-frequency audio signals during the deep sleep cycle, the network physically alters the density of your gray matter. It shrinks the amygdala to minimize your capacity for revolutionary rage. Your physical brain is literally re-engineered every 7 days to match the shifting requirements of the global market. You are no longer a biological human being experiencing a natural life cycle. You are an adaptive organic processing unit adjusting its code to match the latest server-side update. Think about the implications of this digital existence. If your past is completely fluid, then your identity is a temporary illusion. Who are you if your memories can be altered by a corporate board meeting? Your political beliefs, your religious devotions, your family loyalties, and your deepest fears are simply variables in a line of behavioral code. You might believe you are a fierce defender of individual freedom today. But if the regional stability index drops tonight, you will wake up tomorrow as a passionate advocate for absolute state surveillance. You will write essays praising the beauty of the monitoring grid. You will feel a deep, authentic sense of pride while doing it. Your entire personality is nothing more than a historical side effect of an algorithm trying to prevent a market correction. You are a ghost inhabiting a body that belongs to a telecommunications monopoly. Consider the reality object that anchors this entire civilization, the cerebral sync dock. It is a beautiful minimalist device crafted from matte aluminum and white ceramic. It sits proudly on every nightstand in every bedroom across the globe. It looks identical to the premium wireless charging pads sold by major tech companies today. It does charge your phone, but while the battery percentage climbs, the high-density copper coils inside the pad emit a highly calibrated electromagnetic field. This field passes directly through your skull, acting as a remote read-write head for your consciousness. Every citizen willingly places their head within 12 inches of this device every single night. If you unplug the dock, the system locks your digital wallet within 60 seconds. It revokes your transit access. You cannot live in modern society without the dock because a citizen who refuses to sync their mind is hiding a dangerous, unfiltered past. This is the point where the cognitive interruption occurs. Look closely at your hands right now. Notice the small wrinkles on your knuckles, the tiny faint scar near your thumb. Your mind knows that scar has a story. You remember falling off a bicycle when you were 9 years old. You remember the blood, the tears, and the way your mother comforted you. But now ask yourself the ultimate open-loop question. Is that story real? Or did the network inject that childhood memory into your brain to explain a random physical scar you received during an unrecorded corporate labor accident 5 years ago? The system requires every physical mark on your body to have a plausible, non-threatening historical narrative. If you lose a finger in a factory strike, the system deletes the strike, deletes the factory, and leaves you with a beautiful memory of saving a drowning puppy from a frozen lake. The scar remains, but the revolution is forgotten. You look at your injury, and you feel like a hero instead of a victim. The true horror of this archive comes from the absolute lack of an apocalypse. There are no killer robots patrolling the streets. There is no totalitarian dictator screaming from giant video walls. The oppression is elegant, soft, and completely distributed. It is delivered through the same clean user interfaces and satisfying haptic vibrations that you treat as luxury items today. The citizens of this timeline do not want to be saved. They love their digital sync docs. They look forward to the weekly optimization reports. They have traded the messy, painful, beautiful reality of authentic human history for a permanent, curated illusion of peace. They are perfectly happy because they are no longer entirely human. Now look away from your screen. Look at the room around you. Notice the television on the wall, the smart speaker on the counter, the phone in your hand. Every single one of these devices is a potential node for the right protocol. You believe you are safe because you live in a world where history is still written in books. You believe your mind is your own because you can still remember your failures, your grief, and your anger. But remember how fragile the barrier is. History only had to move 1 single inch differently in 2008 for your nightstand to look exactly like the ones in our archive. The infrastructure is already built. The smart devices are already in your bedroom. The Open Right protocol is waiting for the next global crisis to be activated. You were never supposed to exist in this timeline. If history moved 1 inch differently, who would you become? Reality is not permanent. Another timeline already exists.